All right, so here are my lifts from Sunday to yesterday, which was Tuesday. So this is Sunday. I had an overhead press session. I wanted to try to clean my reps to get that little stretch reflex because I knew that I wasn't going to go too heavy. But I'm so goddamn bad at power cleans that I don't think that the stretch reflex I'm getting on that first rep is really helpful. So in the future, I'll probably just walk it out of the rack like normal. But that was 200 for 9. Here's Monday. This was my good squat session this week. I just wrapped up my second one. I'll discuss that more on Friday's video, but this is 445 for 6 paused. I was really, really happy with this, though it would not end up translating to my goals this squat session, but definitely really, really happy with that. I've never really done a fair amount of reps paused, so this felt like cardio, to be honest with you. Like I think that it's Clarence Kennedy said that like a paused rep feels like two reps, like one rep pause feels like 2 reps normal, and my lungs definitely felt like these 6 reps might as well have been 12. So that's that. Then after that, I dropped down, wanted to get some more volume in. So I dropped down to 430, no belt, completely raw, and no pause either. So this is just straight through. This is 430 for 8. Really happy with this. I haven't really done anything but singles, honestly, without a belt or sleeves in a while. I think it's almost a month ago now that I had my last big, belt no sleeves session, which was like 470 for 4 and 430 for 3 paused. So this felt was pretty good. I'm definitely happy with getting 8 reps here. I think that I can definitely squat a bit over my all-time best, which is 510 without a belt or sleeves. So I'm probably quite a bit higher than that, just haven't really tested it in a while. Then we have my deadlift day, and this is no belt, just completely raw, mixed grip, my stronger mixed grip, and it's 530 for 3. And this is actually a PR. My old PR was 530 for 2. So I'll take it. Deadlift is inching back in. We'll see how it goes tomorrow, especially since today's squat session wasn't too great. I want to push deadlift pretty hard tomorrow. And this is my bench day from yesterday. If you follow me on Instagram, you've already seen this. It's 360 paused, and then 315 for 3 sets of 3 paused. And that's been a goal of mine for a while now, so I'm glad to finally come around to hitting that. Other than today's session, squat had a good comeback week from last week's kind of deload. Bench is still going strong. Really, really happy with this session. We'll see how Friday's session goes. And deadlift, it's still the deadlift. I think I'm pretty close to being back at full strength, but not quite yet. So, we'll see. If I can pull 600 tomorrow, I'll be really happy with that. I don't know that I'm going to attempt it. It depends how I'm feeling. Once I get into it tomorrow, I would definitely like to. I would like to, not even go for like a PR with the mixed grip, because my PR with the mixed grip is 600. I would just be happy to tie that and know that I'm back in the 600s on deadlift. And then this is just a rep out I did at the end of the bench session. This is 225 for 20. Just for some extra credit at the end. This is something that's kind of fun to do, is just see what you can do with 225, the NFL Combine bench. It's just one of the, as I get stronger, obviously I'll, still want to do rep outs with 225, but then we can add, 275, which 315. All right. Welcome to a very, very rare pre-lift car talk. This was supposed to go up yesterday. This will be attached to my lifts from before today, so Sunday to Tuesday. And I had a car talk pretty much entirely recorded and almost wrapped up after my lift, and then it was interrupted, so I could not post what I had. because I still didn't touch on everything I felt that I needed to touch on. And I didn't have an opportunity to re-record. So that was a bit frustrating, but it's cool. I'm about to go squat. It's Wednesday, so this is my second squat day of the week. It's Sundays and Wednesdays. Today, I'm going to attempt and hopefully get a 5:30. Oh my God. The bedhead is crazy. Going to attempt and hopefully get a 5:30 pause squat, at least 5:30. Well, in the ballpark of 5:30. I'll take as little as 5:25, and if the warm-ups are just flying, then I'll attempt like a 5:35. But between 5:25 and 5:35 pause squat PR. On Sunday, I did 4:45 for 6 pause squat. So it should kind of put my pause squat in that 5:30 ballpark. So we'll see how that goes. Yesterday was bench. Pretty happy with that. I did a 360 pause bench. It's a PR. I wanted a 350 for 2 pause bench, but I ended up failing the second rep. And then I just decided to slap on, 10 more pounds and do it for a single, because the 350 for 1 pause bench was pretty easy. The things that I wanted to touch on real quick before I get going here is right now the big goal is kind of starting to build up the total of my 3 lifts. Like I hinted at in the last video, I am kind of interested at competing toward the end of this year, so plenty of time to build up my total in the meantime. But like I said, I'm not just going to noxious. I'm not just going to go to a meet for sake of going to a meet and then get blown out of the water and be like, oh, well, I just came to have a good time or whatever. If I go compete in a meet, I want to place, if not win the damn thing. So, it's not like I'm going to nationals or anything like that. So I don't have to do anything crazy. I think that to place at a local meet in a 220 weight class, I'm going to need, and this is to place top 4 at a tested local meet. So, this might be a low standard for some of you, or a high standard for others, but I want to do, ideally, 3, 2, or 1. I think 1,600, anything over 1,600 just put me at that mark. So the numbers in my head that I would have to hit: minimum 600 squat and a 650 deadlift. Then all I need to do is pause bench 350 to competition standard. I could probably already do that. I paused 360. I'd like to think that was to a comp standard, but I didn't have somebody yelling bench and then press. So I don't know, but then anything over 350 is a bonus, and I'm not thinking of competing fucking next week. We're talking at least 5 or 6 months down the road. I should be able to get more than 350. It should be pushing I should be pushing for 400 pause at that point. I think I can get my bench up to 405 touch and go in the coming months, and my pause bench is really only 10 or 15 pounds away from my touch and go PR at any given time. I hit 370 last week, and I paused 360 this week, and that kind of checks out. So it should be in the high 300s at minimum. And then my least favorite of these lifts is the deadlift. I want to talk about that real quick. But basically, the more I bench, assuming a 600 squat, which I don't think should be much of an issue in a couple months, assuming a 600 squat, the more I bench, the less I have to deadlift to get to a 1,600 plus total. And that's good because deadlift is the last lift. 1, 2, I don't really like deadlifting. But either way, I still feel that the deadlift should be in the mid 6s regardless. The other day I did 530 for 3 without a belt on deadlift. And that's with a mixed grip, my stronger mixed grip. It was like adding 1 rep to my beltless PR with 530. It's not very good, but I'll take it. And then you throw a belt on, I'm probably pretty close to the peak deadlift strength. And what I gauge that off of is the 545 for 5 that I pulled a couple months ago. Because I never did that before. Even at my strongest, when I pulled 625, I only pulled 545 for 4. And I was never able to pull 545 for 5. I'd always get 4 and then fail the 5th. So now you throw a belt on, and that was in straps. So straps, it makes it easier, not because of grip for me, but because, your back's set in that position. It's a little bit easier to get the brace at the top. You don't kind of have to torque the body like you do with the mixed grip. So, throw a belt and straps on, I think I'm pulling 545 for 3 or 4 at least, if not 5. And then you throw a belt on, I can probably pull it for, again, 3 or 4 with the mixed grip. There's not that big of a discrepancy, but when it comes to reps, mixed grip's a little bit hard, because if you lose that like the way that you set your back, you got to kind of reset it. It throws the whole kind of deadlift process off. So deadlift is definitely something that I need to bring up, but bench is the big goal right now. Bench is going really, really well, so I've been pushing it. On my bench days, I actually eat, my pre-workout meal right now is like off-brand mini wheats, and then I get like a protein shake with 2 scoops of protein, and I use the first half of the protein shake over the mini wheats. It's a pretty big bowl. It's definitely more than an actual serving size. And then I'll drink the rest of it, of the protein shake, whatever is used in the cereal. On bench days, I do 2 bowls of the cereal, and then that way it's a little bit more carbs, because bench is a lift that I want to push, so I will, kind of carb up or whatever before the workout. I didn't do that today because, squat, I'm cool with where it's at. I'm still trying to, keep it moving. And deadlift, same. I'm not really cool with where the deadlift's at. I'm trying to keep it moving, but bench is a big lift. So if I'm going to kind of utilize like a extra carb up for in pre-workout, I'll do it for bench. That's about all that I think that I wanted to touch on, just to kind of establish where I'm at. Again, total's the big goal right now. Bench is something I'm putting a lot of effort and work into. I finally got that 315 for 3 sets of 3 pause yesterday, so I'm happy with that. Second bench day on Friday I'm looking forward to is I'm going to attempt that 350 Larson press, I think. See how I'm feeling. And then tomorrow for deadlift, I don't know. It's going to depend how I'm feeling. I kind of do want to, make an attempt at, 600, just to pull it, to, know that I'm actually back at 600 and kind of see where I'm at. But that's going to kind of depend on how squats go today and how, I'm feeling again tomorrow. I might just have to do a light and deadlift variation. It is the second deadlift day of the week, but the no belt already is a light and variation as is. So that is what it is. Yeah, I will definitely make another video on Friday.